That is how you go into the All-Star break with 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in a row for your 76ers. We welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Amy Fadul, Jim Lynam, and Mark Jackson talking about a win. And yes, we know the Sixers were up at 28 at one point, 25 at the half. But this is a very talented Cavaliers team. They're fourth in the East. They were only one or two games back of the Sixers. Of course, that's extended now. But did you like the way the Sixers fought back, especially when they made it a little too interesting, Mark?
Yeah, I enjoyed watching the Sixers handle the pressure that the Cavs was putting on them by making their run and then having answers for themselves. It sure got a little too close for comfort for me personally. I would like to see us do a little bit better closing out. It seemed like the second half, the ball got a little sticky. Instead, it was less ball movement, and I think that played into the Cavs' hands. Yeah,
the Cavs, we saw them not make pretty much any shots, certainly from beyond the arc, and they made a few more. Any concern about the perimeter defense change, or is this one of those things that the Cavs were going to make those shots?
No, and I'll tell you, when you have a lead like that, particularly when you're at home, you're not supposed to get in a penalty with, 7, 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And I think Cleveland wisely took advantage of that. Once they realized they were going to, when they got fouled, go to the line, they just dropped their head. They scored 42 points in the fourth quarter. And the Sixers, to their credit, they kept their poise, and they had terrific foul shooting for the last, 3 minutes of the game. And really, that's what kept the Cavaliers at bay.
Yeah, overall 27 of 29 from the charity stripe. That's 93% for the Sixers from the free throw line, and that's always going to help with a win. So is a guy like De'Anthony Melton. Here he is with Taryn Hatcher.
Well, De'Anthony, you guys string a few together now before the All-Star break, especially against a team that's, right behind you in the standings. How important do you think this was, especially you have a gauntlet of a run on the other side of the NBA break?
I think you kind of said it. This team is right behind us, so we kind of want to come out here and make a statement win. And I think, it's a team we could potentially see down the road, so we just want to come out here, play hard, and we play together.
You guys came out really hot on them in the first half, held them to less than 40 points in the first half, excuse me. It felt like they were really trying to change that tide in the second. How were you able to stave them off the very end of this game?
Like you said, they came out with a lot of fire, but in the fourth quarter, we knew they was going to slow down eventually. And down the stretch is all about getting stops. So I think we slowed them down enough to get stops, and we was executing on offense down stretch.
And finally, I got to ask tonight, I think you guys all saw the ovation in the graphic for Joel Embiid, the fastest Sixer to reach 10,000 points. I mean, can you put that into perspective for us as a teammate of him? What a massive accomplishment that is.
It's huge, especially for him, as a big man. He does it in so many different ways. He can kill you in a post, the mid-range, and, he step out hitting threes, too. So he has such a long career ahead of him and, potential Hall of Famer soon. So why not?
Finally, what's the thing you're most looking forward to about break?
Being with my family, resting, getting some sleep in. I think that's the most important thing.
And you get to enjoy it with some wins. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
Listen, they got to enjoy, sleep in, enjoy some rest and relaxation as the All-Star break. But you heard De'Anthony Melton talking about Joel Embiid. Listen, I mean, this is a guy, he's a future Hall of Famer. He's also the subject of our Colonial Nissan Game Changer. But when you hit the 10,000 career mark, the fastest Sixer to ever do it, Jim, we were looking at this list in the pregame show, how he's ranking among some of the all-time greats, second only to Wilt Chamberlain in centers as far as reaching that milestone with 350 games at least played and averaging what he averages. I mean, what can't he do?
Yeah, he just succinctly, Aim, he's a phenomenal scorer. And I want to quote De'Anthony Melton there, and he does it in so many ways. And you're watching him right here.
So he only needed 5 points entering this game, so he got it awfully early on. But Mark, and there was a nice celebration about it. But for Joel, we've heard him say this season, maybe more than he's said any other times when he's been asked about MVP or where he stands among the all-time Sixers and whatever. He said it's all about the postseason. A win like this is going to go a long way, I would think.
It does. This is a competitive team that I think is a title contender. I think in this East, they have some pieces that make a deep run. And Joel Embiid and the 76ers pretty much putting them out their misery and let you know you're still our little brothers. You're not ready yet.
Took him 373 games to get there, besting just Allen Iverson, 10,000 career points and counting. Let's check in now with Doc Rivers after the win.
What about that late charge? Just what was to keep you guys late in that fourth quarter?
The clock ran out. Yeah. I mean, we played great in the first half. Probably couldn't have played any better. Second half, I think All-Star break started.
Tougher game before the All-Star break is trying to get the guys focused, keep that focus.
Yeah, it is. But I thought we did overall. I loved how we came out. I thought we had the right intentions. We just couldn't sustain it. That's something we have to do better.
The team's really been finding ways to win. I think
Yeah.
these last four, you've had to find a different way each time. Is there any
Tonight was almost finding a way not to win that towards the end, but we held on. But, listen, we're playing really well right now, so we'll take the win.
De'Anthony had a better night tonight than he's had over the last few games.
Yeah.
How nice can that be for someone going into the break?
I don't know. I think a lot of the guys needed the break, and De'Anthony being one of them. We ask him to guard the best guy every single night. He's got a hard job. So I think he can't wait to just relax for a couple days, not worry about every single night there's a good player on the other team.
What kind of was your message overall for this game as you guys head into the
Get your rest. Yeah, no message. We know what we want to do. They don't need a message. They need to just – some of them need to ramp down. Some of them probably need to keep working, But just get your rest, be healthy, be safe. Don't call me was my message.
What did you make of Paul Reed? Because he gave you guys some really good results.
Yeah, he was great. Playing great defense overall, rolling when he should roll. He's playing really well for us.
Joel became the fastest Sixer to 10,000 points. I believe 5 games faster than AI. What do you think of that?
That's impressive. Does Wilt Chamberlain? He didn't play long enough here, obviously. Golly, because every record is Wilt Chamberlain. So, but that's impressive, especially at the position that he's playing at, because he needs the ball given to him, for him to score. Guards have the ball. They can score whenever they want to. So that just tells you how dominant Joel has been.
It seemed like the last few weeks, I think, that James's burst has even gone up another level. Is that something, how does that change things for you guys?
It doesn't change things at all. Offensively, he's, I thought, it's funny. He had points early, but I thought it was his playmaking that got us the lead. And that's what he is. When he plays in that mode, he's so good as a scorer. He's going to score anyway. But when he gets everybody else shots like he did, and we're making them, obviously, then we become almost unbeatable.
We obviously talked about Danny before the game, but
Yeah.
to see him get the nice ovation.
Yeah, that was awesome. Great job by our fans acknowledging Danny Green. That was really cool. And then he made a 3, and I wanted to kill him. Yeah.
Two teams this close in the standings. I know it's too early to think about playoff seeding, but get a win on this team that's just chasing you. Does it help you guys a little bit?
Yeah, it helps. I mean, you may have a season series tiebreaker. You never know. But we honestly, I can tell you that one guy talked about playoff seeding or movement or anything like that. We're just trying to win games, but we're really just trying to keep getting better.
Guarding, their smaller guards, whether it was Spanish or whether it was Donovan. Just how do you think he fared in the
I thought he struggled tonight doing it, but overall I think he'll be good at it. He got buried under a bunch of screens tonight. So that's something, you always look to see what you can identify that he can do better. That's something we clearly will work with him on.
Regarding Joel and reaching this milestone, how does your impression of him change when you're coaching him as opposed to coaching against him?
Well, he's way better. Honestly, and I know I've said that. I came here because of him and at the time Ben. And I thought he was really good. I had no idea. Being in the West, you only saw him twice. He is so much better in almost everything than even I thought. And he's so much smarter, too. That's what you don't know when you don't coach a guy, like his brain. He's powerful. He's quick. He can be deliberate. I mean, he literally can shoot. He literally can do every single thing. Sam, are you going? You're leaving? All right. He's just an impressive guy. And what's great about him is every year he adds stuff. He's still working. He's not satisfied.
Kind of his secret sauce is just the free throw. That's unlike any big guy.
Yeah. It doesn't get talked about enough. The reason you can put him in ISOs at the end of the game And the reason probably that he's really good too is that he's not scared to get fouled. You know, that's the do-in to most players down the stretch of games. You can watch every night. You can tell who's trying to get a shot up without getting fouled and who doesn't care. And Joel's one of those guys that doesn't care. I'm going to make the shot or you're going to foul me. James has the same thing. That makes them unbelievable scores.
Thanks, good. Thanks, guys.
Have a good break, guys.
Have a good break. Don't call him. He'll call you, Doc Rivers. Jim, when you go in on the All-Star break, what was the thing that you needed to kind of just, all right, close everything off? Where would you go as a coach?
It wasn't so much where you go. I think what Doc said regarding De'Anthony Melton, you just have to get away from it.
Yeah.
You know, it's mentally you wear yourself down. I think a player and a coach do have that in common. The coach obviously doesn't have the physical load or pressure that the player does, but mentally, you know, it's a grind for both guys in a different way.
Listen, I remember seeing clips of Jimmy Coach. Don't let him fool you. Physically, he was up and down the court constantly, especially if the ref made a bad call. So physically, I think you wore yourself out too. But Mark, how important is it to go in to this kind of break on a winning note, especially against such a quality opponent, a team that is right behind you in the standings?
It's good. First of all, it's comforting. Because you know this team came in focused before the break. A lot of times teams let up and don't have that mentality. They're kind of like they're on vacation already. But the 76ers team, because they filled with so many veterans, they understood the assignment and they got the assignment done.